built what we need to do? Like where's the script? Do I need to
I am using the computer audio. Jordan Kahn. Oh my goodness. You guys look amazing. My on camera. Holy Christmas. Hi.
Hi, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you. Look at all the fun. Are you in a bar?
It is a bar. Yeah.
It's our back room. This is part of our house. Yeah. This is how we do.
Standing.
It's our party room.
I wrote a joke. Your ears remind me of a joke that I wrote about how, they're saying how we should just get rid of all handshakes. And so I'm pitching, I'm like, I'm fine with that because we should all, and here's some things you should do as greetings. Definitely start with this. We've done this before. I think Gene Roddenberry's onto something. People who are really into ear culture, they're already doing it. I think that ultimately we are Vulcans. 200 years from now, it's going to be us.
Happened?
Yeah. What was that?
I said, did you tune into the panel that just happened with Ethan Siegel talking about the new Picard?
No, are you kidding? I almost forgot about this. I've been outside
No.
working in the yard. I was like, oh, shoot, it's 5:45.
Oh, yeah, me too. I was out watering the flowers real quick. Yeah, it looks like you still have about 2 minutes. Gosh, I have so many questions out that I can ask you everything.
So are people tuned in now? Like, how do you know when people are?
I don't know if I can see when people.
So yeah,
It says 8 participants.
yeah. So you guys are panelists. So you guys got 8 people live watching you, and then 2 panelists, and then you're also streaming to YouTube as well.
Sweet, 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 sweet. Well, I didn't make dinner because it was too early, but I'm munching on some seaweed snacks and a Yazoo Sue. Hey, cheers.
Cheers. Great.
Please tell me you guys have been wearing ears all week, or the last 2 weeks.
I've been wearing ears all day.
All day?
A tutorial on how to apply them earlier. And this bodice, I'm like, this is a change from my pajamas.
Right on.
All right. Well, I swear it's going to turn 6 o'clock any second.
It will any second. In 3, 2, 1, 6. I mean 3, 2, 1, 6 o'clock. In 3, 2, 1, and did it.
Okay. Oh gosh, like I guess I had no idea. Well, first of all, thank you so much for being involved in AradaniCon. I really appreciate it.
My good, it's the least I could do. I miss going to cons. This is the closest thing. I'll take it.
Well, I had no idea you started out so early. I'm interested to know, since your parents moved you from Rhode Island to LA at age 11, is that right?
Yeah.
And so what was that like? I mean, was that your decision? Really? I mean, was that you talking them into that, wanting
Oh God,
to do that?
no! I had no input in my life at 11 years old. None whatsoever. No, my parents are very strict. We went to my father was a ballet teacher, and he got a gig, teaching ballet at Fullerton College. So that was he founded the State Ballet of Rhode Island. He lost that. He gave that to an ex-wife, and he was trying to rebuild himself. We tried our hand in Pittsburgh. He was teaching at a college there. That didn't work out. So he had family in California. He thought, let's go to California, and he got that gig. So that's what brought us out there. It was only after about a year where people were like, oh, your son's cute. You should get him into acting. And my mom went, cha-ching, what a great idea. And they sent me they found a workshop in Irvine, California. And the workshop, it was like 12 weeks. It was all ages. It was like, I was 11. I think it was a couple of the kids my age, up till a woman in like her 60s. It was such a mixed class. And we worked with everybody. We did scenes, we did commercials, we did theatrical, we did voiceover. And after about 12 weeks of that, they sent me to an agent, and then the agent signed me that day and immediately started saturating me with auditions. So,
Wow.
yeah, I definitely say it's a lot of like right place, right time,
Yeah, so I see looks like you got your first gig on General Hospital, but I have a burning question from a friend of mine, Juan. He really wants to know about Robot Jocks. And
Robot
1989, and
yeah.
What I was reading on Wikipedia, it's your kind of breakout role.
That was my breakout role.
That's what it says on Wikipedia. But
wow. No, I mean, well, first off, we just lost the director of that movie, Stuart Gordon. Excuse me, Stuart Gordon, who wrote and directed a Reanimator and a lot of cult sci-fi stuff. It wasn't my big break for sure. I mean, nobody saw the movie. It came out and went. It was upstaged by RoboCop. It was called Robo Jocks, and then RoboCop was coming out. They changed the name to Robot Jocks, and it was more independent. RoboCop definitely took the thunder on that one. I think the studio probably didn't know what to do competitively, marketing wise. So we got tucked down there. But yeah, man. But first, like before, you know, Pacific Rim and stuff like that. Like if you like your big giant robot fighting each other, definitely check that out. It's really cool. It's all stop motion.
I want to know if you have any favorite memories from that movie in particular.
Yeah, man, we got to go to Italy. It was my first time going to Italy. First, when I was cast, I was to play the hero's son, and then they changed it. And they got rid of the son. They made me the nephew. So I went from like a big role to like just like a couple of scenes, which was fine. But they flew me and my mom to Italy. I'd never been there before. I remember seeing Liza Minnelli in our hotel like bar downstairs, and a few of the other actors. But I'd never been on like such a big soundstage before. And they built like, so the movie's about like giant, like Pacific Rim. Humans get in the robots, and giant robots fight each other. And, you know, this is well before CG. And so they built like giant skyscraper sized robot feet in the soundstage. Very practical, very, very cool. And then, and I didn't get to see it later, but the animation was stop motion. I think they were like 4 foot tall, you know, posable stop motion puppets that they made. It was experience. I remember, you know, I love Italian food, but I didn't like the food in Italy, and I felt like an ass because we went all over the place trying to find like a burger. But you know, my palate has changed. I'd like to think, you know, I have more accessibility to that cuisine this time. But yeah, wow, I haven't talked about Robot Jocks before. That's cool.
Well, so then we get to the Munsters.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. Like the Munsters today. So you did 73 episodes, and you were 13.
Yeah,
I
started
that like, being that busy as a child actor back then.
What was the question?
I mean, what was that like, just working on that at the age of 13?
It was great. You know, I'd been a fan of the Munsters beforehand, and it was that was like my first breakout, I would say, because it's a TV series. It's a big regular thing. I remember my mom coming into school and interrupting school to tell me about it in front of all the class that I got the job. But it was great fun. You know, we did 3 seasons. We shot on the Universal Studios lot, and that was kind of like my playground at the time. There was no security. There was security, but it wasn't a big deal as it is now. And I would literally go. I lived nearby, so I would go to Universal Studios on Sunday on my bike just to hang out, and I'd go up to the Psycho House, or they were shooting Back to the Future 2 at the time, and Dick Tracy, and I would just go and watch them film and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome way to spend your formative years, you know.
So I've got a bunch of questions popping up here. We have Andy Burgess wants to know, for Hocus Pocus, how difficult was your transition from human to cat and back to human again?
It was painful. Lots of therapy. I had the best Hollywood lawyers, you know, help out with that. I don't know if his question was serious or not, but
Kathy wants to know what you enjoy most about doing conventions. I do have a lot of other questions I'll get to, but I want to make sure I don't miss anything.
I love. I mean, I'll just be honest. I love the attention. I do. I love it. I love. I mean, everyone. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to an area where all day people just come up and tell you like how much they love you and how amazing you are? It feels great. It's great for the ego. I also love to travel. I love going to new places, and quite sincerely, I love meeting the fans. It fuels me. You know, actors aren't. You know, we're all freelance artists. We're not contract players. And I'm in a level where I'm more of like, I guess, character actor. You know, I'm not famous. You know, I've done a good amount of work, but nothing. I'm not like a household name. But when you go to those events, I feel like I'm Tom Cruise. You know, it's fantastic. And the fans, the attendees, you know, you really you get to see. And you know, we used to shake hands and hug, but used to do all that stuff, and you get that tangible feeling of like what you're doing. It feels good, like what I'm doing resonates so well with this person or this family. It means a whole lot.
So speaking of conventions, what's your strangest interaction you've ever had with a fan at a
Gosh,
convention?
you know, I've gotten that question before. I mean, look, I mean, I could talk to anybody, you know, and you know, whether you're straight edge or you know maybe you know on the autistic spectrum. Usually, I mean, people will you know consider that aspect kind of weird because you know certain people can just lock onto you and not let you go and talk to you about bullshit and nothing. And can I say bullshit? I did. I said it twice. It's fine. Uh, you know, I'll have people, you know, tell me like random awkward things. I'll have them tell me very personal things, but nothing really out of the ordinary. No, that's all. I don't know. I just find I find the strange and unusual uh, comforting. So I can't I can't.
I guess I'm thinking like,
Really,
so my friend Hannah was so excited about seeing your panel because she said, "Oh, I fell in love with Max Goofy as a
yes.
kid," and I'm just wondering if people fall in love with your voice and then they meet you at a convention.
I get really disappointed. Yeah, all the time. All the time. They're like, "That's you." Wow. Yeah, that happens a lot. Especially there's a character I voiced, and they did a let's call it maybe the unnecessary Lion King sequel, Lion King 2, and I voiced Kovu, and I get a lot of Kovu fans, mostly women, who come up to me with a very you know red faced, very you know very specific look on their face. That's like you know as I blossomed into a young woman, you know, it was because of this lion. It's crazy, but I get it. I mean, you know, I was talking with a friend, like, did you get turned on by cartoons growing up? I'm like, yeah, you know, like I like Gadget from Chippendales Rescue Rangers. I thought she was hot. I like, you know, I forget her name, the female Gelfling in Dark Crystal. You know, there's just something about female Gelfling. I don't know, especially when she showed her wings. That was like, you know, we're supposed to see that. I don't know. I get it. If I wasn't an actor, I would be at conventions anyway. Like I would be a fanboy about everything. I go to Dragon Con anyway. Like I was invited one year. I was invited. I went anyway because it's a good time. It's a good time, you know?
So I'm wondering about voice acting. It looks like you kind of transitioned a little bit into doing that, you know, very early as well. So regular acting versus voice acting. I've always wondered, like, what comes first? The animation most of the time, would you say, or the recording of your voice first? I mean, what's been your experience with that? And like, can you just explain it a little bit?
Sure, that's a good question. A lot of people know, but traditionally you record the voice performance first, and the animators animate around that. Unless you know we're doing anime, we're doing an English dub for anime, and that's already been done. It's been recorded, it's been animated, and now we're just redubbing it in English. So that's the only time you'd really like see it to picture. But traditionally, like all Disney feature animation, cartoons and stuff, they record the actor first. They send it to an animator, and the animator animates to that performance.
You've done so much voice acting, and so I mean, do you just have a million different voices in your head? Like, how do you transition between
Yes,
all these
nothing
characters?
to do with my profession.
How do you keep up with all the characters? Because I see that you know you have a lot of times that you get brought back for things, you know, in different years for voice acting. And is it something where you just use your normal voice, or you have character voices for all these different characters?
Well, my toolbox is usually my own voice because I sound young naturally anyway. and I can sound a little bit younger if I want, maybe even a little bit younger. Maybe I can go into like more adolescence, you know, I can have that sort of natural, sort of like young sound. That's my thing. Now there's a lot of all my peers, like D. Bradley Baker, who can do all these like crazy, you know, creature sounds. And there's Frank Welker, who does creature sounds and impressions. There's like Tara Strong, who's got, you know, I mean, a gazillion voices in her head. I can do some, different voices, but mostly like when they come to Marsden, they usually want like some sort of arrogant sound, like some sort of like arrogant young sound. That's usually what I get cast at.
So Cassie wants to know if there's
Hi, Kathy.
role you wish you had gotten to play or will have a chance to play in the future.
Oh man, there's so many. Someone asked me this last night on Instagram Live. It's like, what's the role that got away? They've all gotten away. You know, like what? I mean, you know, you're an actor. I mean, you know that 99% of what we do is dealing with rejection. You know, our job is to audition. It's not a very well-paying job. It's like gambling. You know, you just keep going to the table and you play your cards and you play really well. Sometimes you'll walk away with a couple of bucks. Sometimes you'll win the house, but most of the time, you will fold, you will go away disappointed. It's just a matter of dealing with that. But I've auditioned for, like, top of my head, like I'm a big Batman fan. You know, I'd love to play Batman or work on more cartoons like that. I've read for Spider-Man. Like every time there's a new Spider-Man, I've read for Spider-Man. I never get it. That'd be fun in the future. But you know, that is just ego talking. You know, I understand why they cast the people that they do. But, you know, I'm human, you know.
So do you, when you're not at conventions, do you get recognized on the street a lot?
Yeah. You know, it's you know, I can go out to a store and I won't get mobbed and stuff, but every so often people will stop me. I did a Disney cruise a few weeks ago. I'm surprised I survived being on a cruise during this pandemic. It's crazy to think about that, but very quickly people, I think because my demographic has caught up with me, so everyone who, you know, watched the cartoons shows how old I am. Like 25 years ago, 30 years ago, they're all older, they got kids, they knew exactly who I was, and so like every day on the ship, someone's stopping me or wanting a picture or something.
So I'm wondering, Ridley Scott cast you at age 20 in White Squall. I have not seen that film. Now I want to watch it.
Not a lot of people have, Lauren. It's all right.
That it filmed in, I can't remember, like 5, 6, 7 different countries. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe like 8 countries, and then within 4 months, yeah, I was 20. It was my first. Like I'd never been to college. So I equate this to like the closest thing to a college experience, meaning like just hanging out with a bunch of guys my age, you know, traveling, you know, absorbing a bunch, and you know, being a little nutty. But it was a trip, you know. And maybe you could appreciate this as an actor, but it was very challenging for me, that movie, because you know, most of the work I've done is in a soundstage. It's sitcoms, and sitcoms, I feel, for what I wanted to do, created a lot of bad habits in me. Like I was so used to, you know, sitcoms or comedy. It's crafted to, you know, have a joke like every 5 to 10 seconds. So I was used to going for the joke. I was used to getting attention like that, and I would try to do that. You know, when you're in a movie with a bunch of other guys, you know, there's a lot of egos, and you want to have a lot of face time, and you want to be, you know, featured a lot. So you try different things, and I was always going for the joke, and it was never really well received. I was always kind of like being put, you know, like, you know, less is more kind of thing. And there was one day, I'll never forget this. We're shooting. Now we shot on a real sailing ship. For those who don't know, it's a great movie. White Squall is a true story about a bunch of guys that went to high school on a sailing ship in the 60s. And the ship got hit by a micro burst of weather, a squall, and sank and killed a lot of people. But there's a scene where on the ship, and early in the movie, you know, the students have never been on a ship before. I was the first mate, and they're all getting seasick. And the shot, it's just one shot, and it's Jeff Bridges in the captain's quarters, and I'm supposed to like climb down the ladder and say, Skipper, the crew is doing group boot over the side, meaning they're throwing up. So they yell action. I go down like, Skipper, the crew is doing group boot over the side. Cut, cut, cut. Ridley Scott's like, Jason, just say the line. Okay, we'll do it again. They must have done it like 15 times. I was mortified because now I'm holding people up. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But I recognize in hindsight, years later, I'm like, Skipper, the crew is, and the take they used was just me just going, Skipper, the crew is doing group boat over the side. Just that's it. That's all he wanted. Just deliver the line. It was a fantastic learning experience because it matched up with a lot of things that I would come up against as I grew as an actor. It's like I was always going for the joke, always trying to, be bigger than what it was, and sometimes less is a whole lot more. Yeah.
Miss any of these questions? Hannah wants to know. She was the Max Goofy crush, by the way. I want to know if the live performance song he did with Bill Farmer a while ago was intimidating compared to the voice acting.
What's her name again?
Hannah.
Hannah. Hey, Hannah. How's it going? You like Powerline? Yep. Hannah, it was way intimidating because I don't sing a whole lot, and I didn't sing in the movie for whatever reason. Someone thought I couldn't sing, so they got my buddy Aaron Lord to do it. And he did a fantastic job. But I can knock those songs out of the park. It's no big deal. So it was intimidating for the fact that we're invited to do this celebration. She's talking about D23 5 years ago. They had the 20th anniversary for a Goofy movie, and they had a big hall, and they had me and Bill sing On the Open Road together, and I'd never sang it publicly, and we did it, and it was great. Bill and I rehearsed a little bit, and we had the lyrics right there and stuff. But it was fun. It was good. It was a nice little closure. I could prove to people I can, sing this. But it was a little nerve-wracking for sure.
Are there any book or comic characters that haven't come to TV or movies that you'd love to voice or act?
My first thought is the Tick, but he's done it. He's on TV and movies. I'm trying to think. I don't read a lot of comics, I'm trying to think of the ones that I've collected to see if there's anything specific. I can't think of anything at the moment. Everything I've collected has usually already been represented.
Well, Paul has a question. Actually, it's perfect timing because I was going to ask the same question. This is Mike's brother, Paul Bielaczyc. So, Spirited Away.
Yes.
What was that like being a part of that whole Miyazaki legacy of film?
It was outstanding. I'd never heard of Miyazaki before.
When you got the audition? Are you saying when you got the audition you had never heard of?
Yeah, I had no idea. It was just another audition that came through my desk. I read for it in my closet. And something like 2 months later, I didn't even have a call back. 2 months later, I found out I booked this thing. And then they wanted me to talk with the voice director to explain what this was. And he's like, so this is a big deal. John Lasseter is friends with Hayao Miyazaki, and Miyazaki is like the Walt Disney of Japan. And Spirited Away made more money than Titanic did in the US. And Disney's going to release English dub versions of these movies theatrically. I'm like, cool. I had done dubbing before, so that was no big deal. I think I did it over 2 or 3 days, and I only saw Haku's scenes because when you're working, time is of the essence, and so I only saw the scenes Haku was in. I didn't see the entire movie until another month after they mixed it. So I was relying on the directors, and they were explaining what was going on in the scene and why he's intimidating here, and don't give away too much here. And then I saw the movie, and then I realized what the big hubbub was about. It was beautiful. It was different than anything.
It's an amazing thing to do an audition like that and get cast in something just so.
It's like gambling. I told you. It's like gambling. You play the slots, and that was a good number that hit up. It was 3 cherries. That one. That was a 3-cherry job, Lauren.
So I have a question about voicing video games. So how do you do that? Is it very similar to voicing like film and television?
Sure. I mean, it's all acting, really. It's just like maybe a different structure or discipline depending on the job. The only thing that's challenging to me and to most people about video games is the what's like the biggest thing that happens in video games, like combat, right? Mm-hmm. So usually the last day of the session, or sometimes an entire day, will be dedicated to doing screams and combat hits and running and yelling, and your voice is shredded. That's the only challenge, and that's if you're a singer, that helps. You know where to put the voice in the diaphragm instead of here. But it can be extremely physically and emotionally taxing.
Okay, so my question about this is, have you come across yourself in a video game? Do you play video games, and have you come across yourself in a video game and had to talk to yourself or fight yourself?
I have not. I just got an Xbox because my son, it was unavoidable. We were trying to be like, well, we're gonna wait till the last second to get video games, but he's all into it. But he hasn't played anything that I've been in, and I haven't played anything that I've been in.
What would you do if you came across yourself and say you had a list of options of whether you could be? Would you be nice to yourself?
I'd kick my own ass. I don't know. I try to avoid me at all costs.
So Andy wants to know.
Hi, Andy.
Oh wait. Actually, Don't Panic says, can we have some sample fight sounds?
Sample fight sounds. Yes. Okay. Here we go. This is a typical session. All right. Your character is being punched in the face. Give me a small, medium, and a large. All right. Okay, you're being electrocuted. You need a small, medium, and large electrocution. Okay. I'm okay. I'm just doing a podcast. It's okay. My neighbors. There we go. You're punching someone. You're all right. Running. All right, running faster. Running and stumbling. I gotta tie my shoe. Ooh. Winded. I did a session once, and they never usually it's like it's a stationary microphone, but they had a boom operator in the booth with me, which means I had another guy holding the mic, and they just let me. They gave me free range to like roam around and throw myself to the floor if I wanted to do that too. So that was kind of cool. I can't remember what game that was. It was some zombie game.
See, Andy says, I saw you in the 48-hour film festival last year. What did you find different, or what do you find different about big budget, high profile versus low budget independent films?
Oh, I mean, like you take more time. Bigger budget means obviously, you have a lot more time to deal with stuff, a lot more equipment, and fantastic trailers and craft service. That's really the hard line, difference. But ultimately,
you get to work with a lot of your friends doing independent stuff most of the time too, right?
Well, depending on the project, you can work with friends. But you're saying all my friends are cheap, and that
I'm just saying. I guess I'm thinking. I know a lot of the same people in the Nashville area, like. From the Nashville.
That specifically, absolutely. No, that was great, and I knew like Ted Welch and Chad McLarnon and all these other people's names I forget. But that was a lot of fun because I love. I moved to Nashville for a reason. I just love it here. There's a there's a severe contrast from here in Los Angeles. Like people here are authentic. There's a creativity and a sense of play. And I mean, I've done independent, like 48-hour stuff in LA, but it was nothing like you guys throw down hard here. I mean, like if someone's got a truck full of equipment, they will be happy to donate their time for a slice of pizza. Like that just doesn't happen in LA. Everyone's like, well, what are you going to give me? No, I can't. I don't want to go over the hill. It'll take like 45 minutes. And that exudes on set, and it makes it a lot more fun. I was so nervous during that 48-hour. I was like, I hadn't done like a lot of on-camera acting in a while. There was a lot of dialogue that Ted wrote for me, and I wanted to nail it. I wanted to be so good.
Yeah, ours was pretty.
On myself.
I think it's gotta be always scary, like every single year, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's all such a mystery until like the last second.
Right.
48 hour. Paul said, so we are totally hanging out and drinking a beer during this year. I don't know if you can see this chat as well.
No, sometimes the question pops up and then goes away, but I haven't seen anything. Maybe if I press it. Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh, there we go. Don't panic says, this is everything I dreamed it could be. Oh my gosh, you've been in quarantine a long time. Don't panic. My goodness.
So do you have an absolute favorite role that you've done?
It's hard. It's like picking your favorite child or a pet, if you have more than one of those. I only have one child, so it's easy. But I love them all for so many different reasons. The first up the top of my head was I did a show called Erie, Indiana when I was 17. And that was so much fun doing these little Twilight Zone episodes directed by and produced by Joe Dante, who I'm a huge fan of, Gremlins and Inner Space and The Burbs. Working with people like Rene Auberjonois and John Aston. It was so much fun, and we only did 6 episodes. I probably killed it. I don't know. They brought me on the seconds. If you notice my credits, my history of shows I've done, I've always joined a cast. I've always joined a second season, and the show gets canceled. I don't know if it's something I do. I don't know. Boy Meets World was probably smart to get rid of me.
Yeah, step by step, like that whole early 90s era of all the stuff, like Step by Step and Full House and Boy Meets World, Blossom, there's just a bunch of stuff on here. So what was that like? Would you say that you kind of hit a severe level of fame during that time? Like, did you have a lot of young, I guess, teenage, what was I trying to say, like followers, like a young teenage girls following you around all the time after?
Oh, every day throwing articles of clothing at me, finding out living under my house. No, that never happened. Never happened. No, or if it did, I had no idea. It just felt good because, when as an actor, you want to work, and there was a point where I was working on a lot of stuff at the same time, and it felt good. It felt like I was doing something important. I was doing something right. I wouldn't say any sort of like fame came of that. I didn't start noticing that until, years later. I have here's a soundtrack credit for Step by Step. Really? I didn't know that. Well, I did sing on one of the episodes.
You have you did 53 episodes of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was fun. That was a gift. That was another gift. Like they invited me to be on that show, and they treated me like I was there since day one. I think I joined season 5. That was a good time. It was a good time.
That must have been. I mean, I haven't seen it, but that must have been a very successful show. And you're saying that you being on there for 53 episodes didn't give you some level of fame where,
No, you know why? Because
on the street all the time.
but you kind of said it when you said like you haven't seen it. I mean, like, it was a popular show, but it wasn't that popular. You know, it wasn't like record breaking, Nielsen breaking, top show. If I had, was on a show like Boy Meets World for a long time, or something like Full House, if I was a regular on that show, perhaps. But when you join a show like that in the midst, you're lucky to have the work, and yeah, it's such a fickle business. It's so weird because like you think the more that you have under your belt, the more experience, the more credits, the more you have on your resume will lead to other things. It's not the case really. It depends, as an actor. Like if you're in a corporate job, absolutely, your resume experience means a whole bunch. As an actor, I'm only as good as my biggest hit, and I don't have big hits. I work a lot, but nothing I've done has been huge. I mean, people would say a Goofy movie's huge. It's huge now, but not at the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. So Cassie wants to know, have you done or thought about doing stand-up?
Absolutely, I do.
Anything other than acting?
Yeah. I do stand-up, as a matter of fact. I've been doing all the open mics in Nashville. There's is everyone who's watching here, are they all like local folks?
A lot of them are. I'm not sure who Don't Panic is.
I got to
out here.
Yeah. I'll answer that one in a second, but yeah, there's a fantastic stand-up comedy scene in Nashville. There's open mics like all the time, and that habit I talked about with you earlier about always going for the joke and whatnot. I find open mics and stand-up a way to condition that. Now it sounds weird because it's comedy, but you're relying on confidence, and I call it like learning to fail with dignity, because it can be brutal when you do an open mic at like at Sweetwater, near Springwater, near downtown. These little dive bars where no one's really there to listen to you tell jokes. It's incredibly fun and challenging, and I'm so enamored by all the local comics that are here: Brad Sativa, Eddie Ortiz, Laura Peak, Dusty Slay. All these guys are fantastic, and I'm riding their coattails. Marry, fuck, killed. Sarah Jessica Parker, Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy. I would marry all of them, and I would fuck all of them if they would, and I wouldn't kill no one. Nobody. Nope. Nobody.
Oh, it's Darby. Okay, she's also really good.
And whoever Darby is, I'd kill that person.
What?
I don't know. I wouldn't do. I wouldn't kill nobody. No. I wore a mask when I went grocery shopping today for that specific reason. Because I don't want to kill nobody.
Oh my gosh! Everybody's all up in arms about killing Darby.
I don't know who Darby is, but I want to be their best friend. I'm not. I know. I don't want to kill nobody. Nobody.
So, what are you currently working on?
I am. I'm developing a show called the Mars Variety Show, which I did live here, and I'm trying to develop that as a TV show.
Oh, I should have brought my shirt.
You should have brought your shirt.
I know.
I'm trying. When this is all over, I need to find another venue to do it. But I did another. There's talk of it, do another Young Justice season. Other than that, man, I'm just auditioning. Trying to be productive over here on my end. Excuse me.
Speaking of auditioning, did you ever hear back from the one
No. No, but it was great because you helped me. Thank you.
No problem. So, does anybody else have questions? Let's see.
Andy Peters has got all the good questions. He's like, got his homework done.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah asked, what celebrity or director that made me fanboy? I mean, almost everybody. I worked with Jim Carrey, Joe Dante, I fanboyed over, Jeff Bridges, oh my gosh, you know, when I worked with Pauly Shore in a Goofy movie, you know, fanboyed over him. I mean, like everybody, like I said, like if I wasn't an actor, I would be at the cons and I would be in line and I would like, you know, talk to people, you know, there's too many to list. Tales from the Crypt, that was a fun gig. I like that. I love working horror. You know, every actor has to break their teeth in a horror thing, you know?
Yeah, Andy is a film nerd. He's amazing, and he has an entire room of VHSs, which is pretty
Of what?
fantastic. A VHS tape,
Oh,
like an entire bedroom full. Amazing, and
nice. Andy's room is crazy. I wish we could see Andy's room. Wish I could see everybody else.
I am out of questions. I can't believe we actually got through all of them.
Are you done with me already?
I asked the question already. You just weren't out here.
No.
You wanted to hear about the video game, talking to yourself.
Well, you're gonna have to play it back.
I will.
What if I ever played with myself in video games? If I ever encountered myself in video games? No, I haven't.
So what? I mean, I guess I already asked. I asked you what.
Ask him if he's gonna come to the dance party tomorrow night.
Oh, are you coming?
Dance party?
Yeah, we're having a digital dance party on Zoom and Discord.
Sweet, where I can watch and dance with one person.
No. It's going to be a wall of people.
A wall of people? Absolutely.
Yep. All the attendees will be able to dial in. I just asked everyone to wear pants.
To wear pants? Oh, no. Come on. I got great
pants are optional.
I got great pants. I'll wear great pants tomorrow. Do I just click on the same thing that you sent me an email?
I'll send you a link.
Yeah, I want to do it. What time?
9:30. 9:30 till like 2 a.m.
9:30. You know, I had just moved to East Nashville, and one of the things I was so looking forward to was Motown Mondays at the 5 spot. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then this GD tornado took out like half our city, and then this happened, and now. But I had nowhere to dance. But I'm glad you guys have a dance party. I need to get the dance on. We should do this.
I don't know. Is there anything else you wanna say?
Yes. I hope everyone is doing good. I hope everyone's feeling sane somewhat. And there's I'll just share like what I'm going through, and then maybe if you can identify and be like, all right, it's not just me, but like, you know, like yesterday was awful. Like I felt like I had this weird sense of like I have no sympathy for anybody, I have no apathy for anybody. I just don't know what to do. Like real like grief, depression, and then like days where I'm like, great, I'm going to be very productive. I'm going to go do some things. It is what it is. You know, I think this is a humbling situation for everybody. It's definitely bringing out the best in us, and some of us maybe not so much, and we have to learn to navigate that. But I love that you guys are doing something like this, so everyone who wants to get their con on can do it online. So I thank you guys, and I hope everyone is giving you lots of gratitude for doing this.
It's been wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a really big response. Mike has spent so much time putting this all together and organizing people, and
yeah.
I'm hoping that we can do this again. I mean, I'm hoping that this will last longer.
Sure.
If it does, we will do this.
Yes. I guess everything else. I'd love if everyone followed me on Instagram. That's my social media of choice, and it's just at Jason Marsden. I had a sign around here somewhere. Oh, here. Hold on. Do this because I've been everything I've been. Oh, it's all backwards. Take your computer up to a mirror, and yeah, everything that I've been doing in here. I've been making like weird videos, and I'm making these. I'm calling them salutations, where if someone like sends me something funny, I just send them a video back going ha 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 ha, or something, and I want to send gratitude. I'm like, thank you, or you're amazing. I think I sent you guys one. Did I send you one?
I don't know.
Michael, didn't I send you one on?
If you sent it to Instagram, it went to my sister. We're a family thing here, so each person has a different specialty.
Facebook, I did, I think. But yeah, I will do that. I'm gonna make more of those because it's been fun. Because people will write me, and instead of like responding like in words, I'll just send them this stupid video of me being like, "You got it," and the animation and stuff like that. Yeah. And if you follow me on Instagram, I have one that's like, "Hey, new followers," so you'll get to see what I'm talking about.
I'll see you in a couple minutes.
Yes.
So wait. You are a Ferengi on DS9.
Yes, I was. That was here. Big finish. I'll show you. Hold on. I'll take you with me. Oh yeah, I'm not really in like some luxurious soundstage. It's just my living room. Look at that. All right, so check this out. There's my. I stole this. I should not have this. But there's my makeup from when I played a Ferengi, and there I am as the Ferengi. It was like the best 14-hour days of my life. I loved it. I love wearing makeup. I'm a big Star Trek NG fan. LeVar Burton directed the episode I was in. Colm Meaney and Worf was in the episode I was in. I had so much fun. So much fun.
Oh
yes.
gosh, now that one makes me want to ask you, if you do a film or a TV show where you wear a lot of makeup, does that affect your acting style a lot? Like, does it make you get much more into character than you normally would?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it so helps. I mean, sometimes like they're challenging on a technical level. Like, I don't know if you can see, but like, you know, I had these fucked up teeth and I kept biting the inside of my mouth. Armin Shimmerman, who plays Quark, like when I first showed up on set, like he's in his makeup and here, let me give you a Ferengi 101. Take your teeth out. You know, when you're not acting, you're gonna bite the inside of your mouth. And he was right. He's like, rest when you can. Make sure that they cut little holes in the ears because you can't hear anything. and they, you know, you start so early in the morning, and the thing is like a helmet. So I couldn't really, I like to sleep on my stomach and I couldn't do that. So I had to like prop up, use pillows to like nap and stuff. And then funny story, wrap around to Joe Dante. I saw Joe Dante and I hadn't seen him in like 3 or 4 years. And I went up to him and was like, hey man, it's me. And he was like backing away. I forgot I was in full makeup. I was like, it's me, it's Marsden from here, Indiana. He's like, oh, all right. It was good fun, good clean fun.
Somebody says, "Oh, you have your own trading card?"
Yeah. Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, on the Star Trek trading cards. A fan, an attendee, gave me one of those. Yeah.
Oh, it has been so much fun talking with you.
It has been a lot. Thank you so much for having me. You guys look great.
Oh, thank you, and thank you so much.
I gotta get some ears. I gotta get some ears from you guys.
Yes, please.
We got you. Just tell us what kind.
Dig it. You look like, do you know who Tasselhoff is from Dragonlance?
Yes. Oh my
That's
God.
what
Oh my God.
Well,
I was trying to get Mike. I was like, because we're friends with Larry Elmore, who did all the cover paintings. Oh my God, you should do a panel with Mars, with Larry Elmore, and not that we could probably get Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman.
Right.
But they were like, I was like, oh my God, if we could do a panel that's all about Dragon.
If you want to do that, I contact Margaret. We're friends on Facebook, and Tracy's at Hoot. I'm sure they would love it.
Well, you remember that's actually where we met like 12 years ago. I was doing
Gen Con?
for Dragonlance at Gen Con.
That
You had just done the voice.
yes.
And we hung out for a little bit, and I was like, I wish you'd been around so that way I could have had a model for all my Tasselhoff paintings. And so we like connected like that for years, just like
Really, Michael? I did not realize that. That's amazing. That was my first ever convention, I think. That was a lot of fun. And what was that party afterwards? The White Wolf party?
Oh yeah, that was back in the White Wolf days.
Oh man, that was fun. Letting their hair down and dancing in cages and stuff. That was great. Oh my gosh. And then
maybe we'll have some of that tomorrow night at the dance party.
Yeah. Oh, really? Awesome.
I'm sure we can build a cage between now and then that you can dance.
Well,
I'll bet you.
I mean, yeah, if there's enough drink, it might be me. I'm sorry.
Outstanding. Oh my gosh. Your brother's saying we met at Gen Con. That's crazy. On YouTube somewhere, I think I cut together like a video experience of that. Yeah. If you go to YouTube, it was one of my first YouTube posts. You'd see it. It's stupid long and I'm embarrassing in it, but I have like Mars Goes to Gen Con on YouTube. And maybe you guys are in it. I don't know.
It's weird that we like have crossed paths so much. Like I met you for the first time at Mid-South-Con several years ago. I don't know. And then I joined the National Acting Studio, and then I became friends with Bridget, and then I meet you at the birthday party.
It's a small vortex.
I feel like we cross paths so much that every time I talk to you, I'm like, who can remember if you put any of these things together from all the places that we've met?
Hey, look, I love you, but the answer is no. I don't. I have to be reminded constantly. And it's like I feel so bad because I hate it when people forget me. I get so pissed off and like indignant about it. But I do it all the time. But I'm glad that we're here now. I'll never forget this. I'll tell you that right now. Everyone's pitching that you should build a cage.
Everyone wants to see Mike Jackson his underwear in the cage.
I'm calling it about 1:30 tomorrow morning. It might happen.
Well, right on. Well, I appreciate you guys. I'll join you for the day. I'm serious. I'm down to cut a rug. I got plenty of space. I got the perfect outfit for it, and I'll come and dance.
Yes.
Join the dance party.
Fantastic. So I don't even know how to turn this thing off because I don't even have a mouse. So I'm just going to
say goodbye. Which button is it? Click, click, click.
As in, Mike turns it up for notification.
All right. Thanks again, man.
Thank you, and thanks to everybody who's asking questions and all great questions. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Schlong.